Welcome everybody. Thanks for being with me here today. My name is Daniel. I do B2B growth for startups and corporates. Together today we'll see how to generate leads and new customers and sales through Google Ads. We run a whole series of growth marketing talks here in Berlin. So we have also Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads. Actually, LinkedIn ads is this week's Wednesday is LinkedIn ads, landing pages, and if you follow along, you can get like a whole growth marketing education. And maybe I would like to use also the moment to introduce myself a little bit. As I said, my name is Daniel, and what I do for a living is I consult companies in B2B growth. We do all the verticals, all the brainy stuff, management consulting, legal tech, medical tech, IoT, blockchain, you name it. And my background is I've been an entrepreneur all my professional life. I never worked a day as an employee. And I'm an alumni of Axel Springer Accelerator of Wagon Coding School. And together with my team, we teach and create growth for companies. So yeah, we do work with a bunch of companies. And yeah, what's the agenda for today? So of course, I'll give you an intro to Google Ads. So let me do a quick poll. So who here is an absolute beginner in Google Ads, spend less than €1,000? Okay. First, before we go into the whole ads, I really want to make an emphasis on this. I want to show you how to structure your Google Ads and your growth efforts like a king, the royal way. This is our own secret sauce, and I'm sure you'll like it. Then I'll show you 3 universal Google Ad campaigns every business should have. It's like the 80-20 of Google Ads. And of course, we are into B2B lead generation. So I will make a special emphasis what's different in B2B and how to use Google for B2B. And I'll show you something for tech, startups, and SaaS. Why Google Ads? Why am I here? Why are you here? Why does Google matter? Okay. So what's the game with Google Ads? Because Google Ads is actually cool, but a lot of people don't think this. So a lot of people, when you mention paid ads and Google Ads and stuff like that, they probably think something along those lines. Say, nah, I don't do Google Ads because Google Ads, or AdWords as it was called, is pay to win. You know, I want to do free stuff. Actually, this is not true. So we're doing Mythbusters here. AdWords is not pay to win because actually, AdWords has a very neat way of structuring the auction. Is there anybody here who is looking for a job as a marketer? Anybody who wants to have a job as a marketer? Okay, what's your name? Sad. Okay, so if I say Google AdWords is not only pay to win, and I'll ask you, you may answer this question, may not, but this is like my typical interview question. If you pay €5 for a click, okay? And I pay €10 for a click for the same keyword, which ad is shown on top?
Can I get that again? Like he's paying 5 and you?
10.
10. So like, I mean, if it's pay to win, like you're gonna get better.
But on Google, is it really? Is the spend the only factor which determines which ad gets shown on top?
If it's pay to win, yeah. Like,
you know it?
No, I don't know, but I don't know the other factors, but it's not only.
Okay, so this is the thing. Like even with a smaller budget, you can beat a competitor on Google Ads. How? Because Google has a 2-factor auction. Okay, you have how much you're willing to pay for the user, and you have your quality score, your relevancy score. And The score is a number between 1 and 10. If you go into your Google account, you can see it. And let's say I have a shitty ad. I pay 10 euro and I have a quality score of 1. So 10 times 1 is 10. I have a score of 10. And your name is Dario, right?
Yes.
Dario.
Yes.
You pay only 5 euro, but you optimize your ads. And you have a quality score of 10 of 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. 50 beats 10. You stand in front of me, although I offer more money to Google. Why is this? Because Google wants to have the auction qualified. They want good ads to stand in front. And for your marketers, this is the opportunity to optimize. Because if you have a quality score of 5 on average, nothing happens. 6 and above, your ads get cheaper. 4 and below, your ads get more expensive, and actually Google penalizes you hard. Like if you have a 1 quality score, you may pay 10x more than your competitor with like a 7, 8-ish quality score. So you really should optimize this. And this is why AdWords is not only pay to win, but of course, if you can pay, it's of an advantage. Yeah, smart people like me, people say, don't click on ads. Who thinks they're too smart to click on ads? Actually, you can search on the internet, on Google. They can show you all the ads you clicked. First, and second, ads really do work. So maybe there are some people who don't click on ads, but those people also maybe are not there to buy. They just get your information, download your white papers, ebook, waste the time with your sales guys. But as a matter of fact, you get a ton of people who buy from ads. And actually, you can get also really brainy, smart B2B customers from Google Ads. All right, so what do we have next? Yeah, AdWords is paid. I prefer free traffic. I prefer organic, I prefer social. There's some people say. You don't say. I see some doubt here. Okay, so what's the matter with here? I think there is no free lunch and also no free traffic. If you get a lot of traffic from social media, from SEO, this is because you worked for it. At the end of the day, I think you should always use all the channels. You should use social, you should use direct sales, phone, email, word of mouth, whatever. And at the end of the day, you know, like to quote here my old Sigmund Freud, if you have only one tool and this is a hammer, you will treat every problem as a nail. But we have a lot of tools. We have Google Ads, Facebook Ads, you name it. Just go onto my event page, see all the events. So I will show you where to use Google Ads exactly as the right tool and where maybe not to use Google Ads and use other tools. This is really important. Yeah, and this also answers the Facebook and then thingy. And yeah, and lots of people say, yeah, clicks are too expensive, competition is too high, I can't do this, I had negative negative experience with AdWords, I spent money, didn't work, I wasted my money. Could happen. Actually, even I'm in Google advertising for 10 plus years, and even me and my team sometimes we don't get it right from the first shot. But if you follow some general rules, as a rule of thumb, you will get profitable in AdWords. And of course, you will have positive return on investment, so you will make more money than you actually spend on ads. So why should you actually run ads? Why should you actually run ads? Very interesting. So on Google Ads, you can reach people who are actually searching right now for what you offer. And if you have a business where you cannot really target by demography, for example, in some businesses, you can target men between 35 and 50 interested in Porsche cars, okay? If you have such a business, if you sell Porsche or something like this, but imagine you're a locksmith, okay? Does it make sense for the locksmith to target men between 35 and 55? No, because the target for a locksmith is not a man, a woman who likes this or that. It's actually a person who is locked out right now. They're in front of their door and they understand they don't have a key, okay? And this is intent-based marketing. And these people, these are perfect targets for Google Ads. Also for lawyers, like if, for example, you are the best divorce lawyer in Berlin, imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm happily married, you cannot sell to me, right? You need somebody who wants to get divorced. They need an intent. You see, this is the thing. Like you go way overboard. So intent-based marketing on Google Ads, and actually Google Ads is the only ad form since the old China and the Roman Empire until now, which allows you to target inside people's mind for the actual intent. Okay? If I'm walking down the street and I search sushi near me because I want to get sushi now, that's Google Ads. Okay? They know exactly where I am and that I look for sushi now. And they can show me, okay? Intent-based marketing. Google actually also have some very neat demographic-based marketing. I will show you as a bonus because after the competition from social networks, they introduced a lot of interesting features and we will go through it. And you can reach more than 90% of the people, of the population. It's actually bigger than TV. We've seen that. And yeah, Google Ads and Facebook Ads are the major tools. For B2B, of course, also LinkedIn. LinkedIn is booming. And there are some neat tools to automate, which I will show you. Where do we can run ads on Google? Okay? So who knows? The first one is Google search. So if I'm searching for something, let me search, for example, for sushi. Okay? This is an ad. Okay? You can be here. Or because if we are into the B2B space, let's say co-working. I want a co-working. Yeah, I was searching for Badalona, Spain. I'll be there very soon. So you see, if I have a company, I want to rent space. I have ads here, so all these people, they can get me as a client. Okay, so this is Google Ads. So what ad networks do you have besides the ads on the Google page? Where else can I run ads through the Google service? Display network, YouTube, nice. Google Maps, nice. YouTube?
Google Map.
Yes. Let me see if we have everything. So YouTube, actually, okay, let me go back. This is the biggest search engine in the world. The most searches are on Google, right? Mm-hmm. What's the second biggest search engine? YouTube. YouTube is way bigger than Bing. Okay, so what do we have? Display network. Who knows Google Display Network? Who of you is on the internet sometimes? Nice. So you've seen Google Display Network ads. Let me go here on Spiegel newspaper. Let me check it out. So maybe I should disable the ad block. Where is the ad block? So let have a look how it transforms. Okay, it's loading. So let me open some article. So you see, what's that? Let me check it. Okay, this is Criteo. This is some other display platform for e-commerce, usually. So this one, what is this? This is also Criteo. This should be about the same. They bought all the space. Let me scroll down. Let me see what else do we got. So this is Smart Feed. What's that? Double click. So you see in the bottom left corner, double click right here. That's also a Google company. We have double click here, and this should be something else. This is Outbrain. Why am I getting this? What's that? Okay. Let me check. That's Google Ads. So you can be on Spiegel Online. And the Google Display Network is all over the internet. It's like on almost every site, big and small and forums and whatever. And you can push it as much as you want. All right? So this is the Google Display Network. We had it over there, very good. What else do we got? Shopping. Yeah, we're not into e-commerce right now, but into e-commerce you have like shopping. So I'm looking here for MacBook Pro. If you have e-commerce, you have shopping results right here. And Google Play, Android apps. Okay, so if you're into apps, you can also do campaigns on Google Play. And Gmail, really nice. So somebody said Gmail ads right there, right? Let me check this out. So, okay, this is my account. And if I go here, I don't have any ads.
Bad one, no?
Actually, I need to disable the ad blocker. You have ads here. Okay? And like me, I have this view. Who of you has this view where you have your standard view and then all the other tabs separated? And who has the normal view where everything is in one? You will have the ads front and center. So if you have a free Gmail, people also can target you inside Gmail, so you can target your clients inside Gmail. Super powerful. For B2B, I will show you how to do it, how it works. All right, so then again, you have ads here, you have organic stuff here and ads here. Basically, Google pushes all the free content down to show you more ads. And if you're an advertiser, then you can really profit and really reach your targets here. What can we do? This is a screenshot from the Google system, and you can use the Google AI to optimize for certain objectives if you have conversion tracking installed on your page. So for sales, if you sell online, lead generation, so if you have people filling out a form or actually calling you, you can also track calls through your website. If you're working with a business where 90% of your new customers are calls, for example, a doctor, dentist, they call you, you can track it with Google or with third-party software. So you know if I spend €1,000, I get 10 calls, every call costs me €100. Then out of the 10 calls, I do 3 clients, and the clients, everybody gives me like, I don't know, €700. This means 700 times 3, so 2,100. I spent 1,000, get out this, then your ads are probably profitable. So, yeah, I think here in the B2B, probably the most important is lead generation in Google Ads, because for brand consideration, I would really do social and awareness and reach. If you have an app, for sure you should do this, but mostly I would optimize for leads, and I will show you how to do this. Unless you sell. If you have a shop, you have an e-commerce checkout, of course you should optimize for sales. Everybody who's new to Google Ads and never did it, never ran Google Ads, I have searched all the internet for the best tutorials. These ones are actually made by Google. You should go through all these videos, how to set up the account. So I'll skip this one. I'll give it to you for later. And now we are coming to the king's mindset. How to structure your Google campaigns like a king. Okay? Or like a queen. Or like an X. King X. No judgment. You know, all are welcome. So imagine in a kingdom far, far away, what kind of people can you meet in this kingdom? What kind of people are there in a kingdom?
Knights.
We have knights. And who else do we have?
Paupers.
Who?
Paupers. Poor people.
Poor people. Probably. Probably. So probably we also have a king in the kingdom, right? So we have a king, and then we have his officers or knights.
The royal, the family.
Yeah, and then probably let's say the poor people, they get drafted to the army, they are the soldiers. So if you have the chess analogy, you have the king, the knights, and the pawns. Okay, so the king, what is the mindset of the king? The king is responsible for vision and mission. So the king sets the values, the vision, and the mission. So for your campaigns, for your business, the king mindset is very general. Say, okay, we are here, we want to get there. These are our objectives, this is what we need to do, this is where we need to stand. This is very, very high level overview to just know who you are, why you do it, who are your customers, what do you want to achieve for them. Okay, this is the king's vision. And the king gives the vision down to the officers. And the officers, they have strategic goals and tactics. So if the king says, okay, in 5 years, we need to be here, the strategic goals of the officers, they say, okay, today we do this, and then that, and then that. So in online marketing, this is like to prioritize. Do we do Google? We do Facebook? What kind of pages do we do? What kind of content do we put? And then you have the soldiers. They execute, they cut trees. From 6 o'clock in the morning until we say stop to them. So in your campaign, in your kind of, if you're running the campaigns for your own business, who of these 3 people are you?
All.
Nice. But like in chess, you can and should play every stone, but only one at a time. So this is our growth process. This is our growth process, how we do growth. And you can have it right here. So we start with the offer. Before we run any ads on any system, we start with the offer. Because the offer is the most important thing. Like the ads, you can optimize them and so on and so on. If you really have a really good offer, imagine you're selling iPhones in 2007. Who remembers 2007? Who remembers 2006? World Cup in Germany. What was your favorite app at this time? No.
2006.
The iPhone came out 2007. WhatsApp should be about 2008, 2009. Trick question. Yes. You see, you take it like for granted. But like during the World Cup, I think the best of a smartphone you can have would be like a very weird Windows mobile device, and you would be like a geek. Or a BlackBerry. Yeah. You see, how did we come to this thing? So if you have an offer which is really good, then you just get it out to the people nearby. Okay? If you think you have an offer which is really good, it may or may not be, but there will always be competition. And there will always be somebody in the market who is cheaper than you. There will always be somebody in the market who is more trustworthy than you, has more experience, more kind of testimonials, clients, is like the older company. And you really need to see what your offer is, and we will work on the offer. And spoiler alert, the offer is the third biggest thing which I want you to memorize here. So wait for it. Micro products. This is our own special sauce. So for example, let's go to data rate. So your product is data for Google for data. Then you split it. Like you can advertise it vanilla as it is. You can do micro products. For example, for the B2B leads use case, for other use cases. Why? Because it's more precise. For people who search B2B leads, they don't care if you have healthcare data. You know? So for them, this is what they want to have. You can offer it to them. Imagine the micro products as you would have Lego. Okay? Everybody knows the Lego stones. Yeah? I see so much confusions. Everybody knows Lego, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lego is the product. What's a micro product? It's very smart because the Lego stones, it's only like, you don't really know what to do with them. What do? They do Lego pirate ship. They do Lego castle. They give you a precise use case and they give you kind of an instruction how to play with it. And they give you a whole experience for the children. So you can play pirate with Lego, or you can play whatever, knights. So this is the micro product. Micro product is very, very powerful. So before you go on Google, then you should have a 30-day work plan. And the work plan, I think I linked it. It's like a calendar. So once we have like all the general stuff, the king size, then in the officer vision, we do 30 to 90-day plan on a calendar every day. Monday, I'm going to write copy for my ads. Tuesday, I'm going to upload it to Google. And you know, I have all the tasks. I know what to do, or I can delegate to my employees, to freelancers, the work plan. And also I can execute without being kind of caught, and because I decided what to do and I can just execute it. Simple. Then, especially in B2B, I really encourage you to do outbound sales. Before you run any ads and do any A/B testing, which costs money, call the clients, write them emails, walk into their offices and sell them. Or at least in B2B. So what I say, if we sell really complicated products or our clients, the mindset is very simple. I mean, the more complicated your product gets, let's say, again, the data, is not for everybody. You cannot sell to everybody. Even if you convince maybe me to buy, then I will churn or I will ask for a refund because you're a really good salesman, but then I see I actually don't need it. So actually, the thing with sales is you should have the mindset that you should explain it to the client. And when the client really understands what you do, they can choose if they need it or not. But you should explain it. And when you know how to explain it one-to-one in a call, in an email, in a meeting, then you will really need to know what to write into Google, which keywords to buy, which ads to write. And then, finally, you can go into paid acquisition. And what's the last step after you did everything? Like you have a ton of clients, everything is good. What is the last step to make you king or queen? Make you God? Dominate the markets.
Share it on social media.
Yes? Share what?
Success stories.
Yes? Continue.
Thank you.
Testimonial?
Yes?
Yeah.
Remarketing?
Retargeting?
Like this is very detailed now, soldier like. We think king level. So this is the thing, this is the whole process. Okay?
Return of investment?
Case study. You have everything. They bought, they're happy, you know? Like you have 1,000 people Googling, you have 100 on your webpage, 10 buy, 3 of them are super happy. They tell it to all their friends. At least one of them, you need to do a testimony with them. Testimonial, you know? They need to tell other people about it, how good it is. You need to tell them what revenue you brought them and everything. Because once you have testimonials, you can put them here on all the funnel. So you put the testimonial on the page, next time out of 100 people, not 10, but maybe 15 will convert.
You mean in the website or in your ad? Like in
Wherever you can. On the website for sure. If you talk to people, give them the testimonial. If you have space in the ad, it's actually really nice. If you can have it, because the space in the ad is limited, but you can say, hey, X company got 10x ROI with our methods. Nice. So now I give you the Swiss Army knife of Google ad campaigns. If you have a business or a non-profit, even that doesn't even fit for non-profit. This is the beauty of the universal campaigns. Okay? So what are the universal campaigns? There are 3 campaigns you can run for any business. Pareto principle, like 20% of the work, 80% of the success. So what is the first campaign you can run for any business to bring you guaranteed results? Who knows it? Okay.
Awareness?
free offers.
I hear something else. Be more general. What kind of keywords can you advertise? See puzzling faces. Okay, so I give you a hint. The first campaign, the easy win, is to steal your competitors' clients. Imagine their companies have way more brand than you. Everybody knows them. Imagine, let's say, there's the Adidas of sneakers, and there's the your startup of sneakers, started yesterday. So the first campaign, if you're competing with Adidas, I would book Adidas. You buy your competitor's brand name, okay?
That's forbidden, isn't it?
No.
There was an hotel 2 years ago that it's forbidden to
No.
bid that?
No.
No?
There were many court decisions. It's absolutely legal to bid on your competitor's brand under the condition that it's fair. So if you're Mercedes, I'm BMW. I can buy Mercedes as long as everybody sees directly that I'm BMW. So if you're Mercedes, I can say on the word Mercedes, I can say, hey, search for Mercedes, try BMW instead. Completely legal. So you all have your computers. Open your browser and search maybe for Nike, Mercedes, Zalando, Slack, like all the brands. Search for them. Search for any software, for any brand, Salesforce. Search for them. And what you will see is campaign number 1, competitors. Because why this is so powerful? Because if I have a big competitor, who of you uses Slack? Okay? And there's a ton of other people trying to get into the game. So if, for example, I created the Slack for doctors, okay? The Slack for medical clinics. It's like Slack, but for doctors, for any weird reason. Then I can buy the word Slack and say, hey, if you're a doctor, this is better, okay? Or I created the Slack more generally. Let's say I created a German Slack, okay? For people who want to be made in Germany, want to be very GDPR, DSGVO, they don't want to host in America. It's just like Slack, but it's 100% on German servers, okay? So I can buy the word Slack, everybody knows it, I don't need to explain it, I just need to explain why my thing is different or better. So this is a very, very targeted campaign. And then brand. Why should you buy your own brand? Because if nobody knows you and you have low organic visibility, you would, and if somebody wants a second opinion on you, they heard about you, they should find you. And if you have a big brand, you should buy your brand to protect from competition. So let me see Mercedes. What's with Mercedes? Okay, organically they're here. They have this thing, but they still buy the brand, you know? Because they don't want the competition to bid over them. They want to dominate. If I go here to Slack, let me check. We have Slack, who buys everything because they don't want the competition. So you have like weird stuff is happening. Google is updating all the time. If I buy here Trello, let me see. Yeah, this is the thing. Monday.com. Who of you knows Monday.com? Quite some people, okay? They invested into campaigns, but basically nobody. But do you know Trello? Like they don't buy, they have the organic result, they have this, they didn't buy the ad. Monday.com buys it, eats their lunch. Like this clicks cost maybe a couple of euros. But to build the brand of Trello, it's millions, if not more. So they're doing it here. And what is the third campaign? So you have your competitors, you have your own brand. What is the third campaign? Which is really kind of straightforward, really easy.
The product?
Yeah. What you actually do. So if I have a B2B service, so I say, let's say co-working in Berlin, Kreuzberg, I just book it. Because if people, they're high intent, they want co-working in Berlin, Kreuzberg. Or even like rent co-working cheap. So you buy the money keywords, you know, the high intent where the people really, they want to buy now. So these are the 3 campaigns. And probably you should put, let's say 80+% of the budget here, unless the competitor's campaign converts really well. But if you do these 3 campaigns, so basically everything what you do, like the offer and everything, plus your brand and your competitors, you're kind of 80% done. Like everything else is optimization, long tail, but these are the basic campaigns and they work for any business. Okay. okay? I bet you to show me a business where these campaigns don't make sense. All right, so let me see. Yeah, who's in for the growth hacks? Who wants to see some tricks? Now we covered the basics. Now who wants to see something smart and funny? Something that may surprise you. Something that may be a little bit illegal. Come to the social ads, you will see a lot of them. Like creepy stuff on social media. Wednesday, I'll do LinkedIn. Here in B2B, let me see what I got for you. So the first thing is the not to-do list. Who doesn't want to get sucker punched by Google so it burns all your budget without any results? Who wants to avoid it? You see everybody. Why? Because people are risk averse. Every human and animal being on the planet is risk averse. Because those who were too adventurous, they died long time ago. Darwin Award. Because you can always a second chance, to eat or to mate, but if you die, it's game over. So, actually, this alone, like the not to-do list, you see how I triggered you? Negative triggers work really well, okay? You should always, especially in B2B, when it's brainy, it's hard, it's expensive, imagine you sell some software which costs a ton of money, which the people don't really need, and which is hard to integrate, which has a benefit, but you need really to dig deep for the benefit. Then you can sell with pain, okay? So the thing is, like in all our landing pages, we have a section where we say, hey, honestly, is this the way you want to do what you do? And then we criticize the standard way of doing things. So if we have, for example, a database software, we say, honestly, guys, Excel sheets, paper, 3 different tools, nothing works. Is this really how you want to run your company? Everybody's, no, I feel the pain, fuck it. And then comes the section, okay, this is the new way, okay? This is what we offer to you. So this is actually as a bonus. I didn't have this in the slide, but negative triggers are the most powerful. So after I gave you the negative triggers, so what is the not to-do list? Like I showed you what is the to-do list, the 3 campaigns. I showed you the mindset. Like this is the 80% of what you should do, and then I showed you what you should avoid. Okay? So these mistakes. First, bugs. Okay? Who saw that coming? That one of the biggest growth hacks in Google Ads and online marketing is just not to have bugs on your website. I give you a live example. There was a university, private university from Berlin. I won't say the name, I won't shame it. They spent a ton of money on campaigns to attract leads, to people to download their curriculum, give the email, and so on, okay? Fair enough. So you click on a keyword which costs like 10 euros, like MBA or something, 15 euros. You go on the landing page, they have no phone number. You can just fill in the form and download the stuff. You try to fill in the form, and then they have a warning from Salesforce. The customer did not accept GDPR. This is why this form is disabled. You can't fill it in. 100% of the money was wasted. Like if you have a bug on your website, if it's impossible for the people to convert, to buy, you should really fix it, okay? And sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes you can see the bug only, let's say, on certain phones, on certain systems. So how to hunt down these bugs? If you have a bigger site, you have a lot of analytics, and you see that, for example, some form of traffic is way worse than other. Let's say iPad have no purchases at all. Then you should just open your page with an iPad and see if it's even possible. Or maybe on an iPad, your website is broken and people cannot buy. So this is like the first thing. You should really avoid bugs. Okay, what are landing pages? Who knows what landing pages are? Nice. So actually, if you have a business, let's say for the most vanilla things, you can put traffic on your main homepage. But if you have different use cases, let's say data for hospitals, data for leads, you should make a micro page, landing page, micro product. to match it. So this is the thing. You should really, if you promise, so if people search something, then you should be relevant. You should, in your ad, promise them to give them what they're searched for. And if you promise that in the ad, you should connect it to a page where it actually, they get what they search for. And then they stay, and then they read your content, and then they convert, and then they buy. So if you don't do this, one of the biggest mistakes, almost as bad as bugs. No conversion tracking, okay? So what's conversion tracking? Conversion tracking is a technology which allows you to see what happens after people click. If they do the action which you want them to do. If they fill a form, if they call you, if they buy, if they read enough, like whatever you want them to do. And with Google Analytics and with Google AdWords, you can connect conversion tracking. And when you have conversion tracking enabled, you can actually see the whole funnel. You can say, okay, I booked my keywords and they had 10,000 impressions. So people looked at them 10,000 times. And my ad was shown 90% of the time. So I had 9,000 people saw my ad. And then I had a click-through rate of, let's say, 10%. So 900 people went on my website. And then I had a conversion rate of 10%. So 90 people signed up. And I want to know how many people sign up. So I can say, okay, I get 10% conversion rate. So I bought this people for this time amount of money, and I can see if I'm profitable or not. And I can break it down. I can see on which keyword I get subscriptions and on which keyword I don't get subscriptions. So conversion tracking is super important. If you don't do it, not good. Do conversion tracking. I attach a video how to install it. Okay, good. Wow, this one is beautiful. Actually, Google sucker punch you all the time. And then, because everybody was talking about it, they changed it and they still sucker punch you with the same thing. So remember, you have Google search ads and Google display networks. So you can book for people who search on Google, so show them a result, or you can have banners like on Spiegel Online. You know, the banners with. And by default, if you book, Google will book this two in one, but it's a completely different systems. And you should always, like the click prices on search are different than these ones. And if you book display and search into one, you will get just a huge loss of your budget. Never do it, okay? So when you start your campaigns, if Google asks you, hey, do you want more reach to take also the search network with you? No. And if they ask you again, no, because they want you to do this mistake, to spend more money on stuff you actually need. No keyword modifier. Who knows keyword modifiers? So, okay. Actually, I'll show it to you. Kommunikationstraining. Let's do it in German, because you speak German?
Yeah.
Jawohl.
No, you don't ask me in German. That's great.
So, okay.
Krise.
So, for example, you have some different kinds. These are all your micro products, actually. Okay? So for example, for Führungskräfte. So communication training for C-level. Okay? You have online, offline, whatever. So actually, what I wanted to show you when you book the keywords, you have modifiers. This is really technical. So let me see what gives to the keyword modifiers. Okay, so you ever seen this one, like plus the quotes or the brackets? This one, the exact match, will trigger only if the people type keyword. If they type something more or less, won't trigger. This one will trigger if the people try the keyword plus something. So if you have women's hats here, buy women's hats, or buy women's hats cheap. Okay? This one, women's hats, it's more broad. Okay? So it should have this word and this word in any order plus anything. And if you have buy ladies' heads, your women's head, it can be this, but you should never use keywords without modifier, because literally it can be espresso. It can be any other keyword. Like if you don't use a modifier, if you don't use one of these, Google will catch you, sucker punch you, and put your budget somewhere where nobody else puts their budget in, because they want to put an ad on everywhere. So what we do, we advise you to do SKAGs, S-K-A-G. Okay, single keyword ad groups. So for every keyword, you do it with the brackets, with the quotes, and with the pluses, if this makes sense. And so you have all the combinations. And also, if you put them into one ad group, you can have the ad really targeted. So if you have coaching for Führungskräfte, you have the Führungskräfte ad. You have coaching for Familien, you have the Familien ad. Okay? So this is the thing. Should use keyword modifier. Okay, so segmentation. Imagine you serve. So what do you serve? What cities? Only Berlin?
No, not only.
What else?
Mostly Berlin. Mostly Berlin.
But what else?
We are mobile, so we can.
Serve Hamburg?
Yeah.
Serve Munich?
Not yet, but we might.
So probably you should, in every city, have your own campaign. Because the cost per click in Hamburg may be different than in Munich. And if you are average, you bid average. So in Munich, let's say Munich is more expensive than Berlin. In Munich, your ads are down and you're not getting the impressions. And in Berlin, you pay too much. So you should segment, especially with countries. Who of you serves more than one country? Okay? The language anyway, but for every country, you should segment it. And for the big countries, for the big markets, city-wide. So, I mean, you don't need to segment for everything. Let's say the US. You can do like the West Coast, maybe do kind of San Francisco Bay Area separate, East Coast, New York separate, other big cities separate, and then you can do the rest without those areas. So you should segment by geography. You should segment by time. Okay, so who of you, let's say the coaching thing, this is nice. What's your business hours? When do you pick up the phone?
9 to 6.
9 to 6, okay. So during 9 to 6, you should have a campaign where you also have a phone in the ad. And on weekends and on evenings, if you still run your ads, you should say, hey, we're still there for you. Give us your phone number, we'll call you back. Or you can say, hey, we are also there on Saturdays. Everybody else is sleeping, but we can serve you. Then you write it on the landing page, segment by time, segment by demographics. So who has a product which is different from men and women? What product?
We're just selling like for Amazon, like they have their own.
Okay, imagine you sell. What is different actually, like in B2B? What can be different from men and women B2B? B2C you see different campaigns. And you can have case studies or wording or images which cater more to men and more to women. Okay, imagine you sell dating. It's not a B2B product, but hey, if you cater to women looking for men, then it should be on the ad and on the landing pages. And for men looking for women, the same. For men looking for men, the same. You segment the demographics, okay? So not every demographic into one campaign, but where it makes sense, you can segment it. Can differ. No remarketing, okay? Who knows what remarketing is? Who wants to explain it? Yes, please.
When you have traffic on your website, or you can also, or clicks on your ads, or basically any sort of interaction, you can get the ID of those people and retarget them.
Okay, this is nice. So who of you has been to Amazon or Zalando? Who of you doesn't use the internet? Who of you is too lazy to raise the hand? Okay, so do you know this? You go to a page and then the ads, they kind of persecute you throughout the internet. And this is actually super smart because in B2B not a lot of people do this. But if you don't have so much traffic in B2B, which is usually the case because it's a small niche, you will pay, let's say, 10 to 20 euro a day. And all the people who've been to your website up to for 360 days will still get your ads everywhere. And they will think, wow, this is a big company. They're really serious. They have so much ad budget. Or maybe you have a long sales cycle. Maybe people need to decide like 3 months, 6 months. It's a complicated product. They want to test. They have all the offers. Then they go to their boss. Then it goes up and down, purchase, finance, legal. And you're the only one following up all the time with remarketing. So remarketing is really, really nice. You should use remarketing. So it's a big mistake if you don't use remarketing. Yeah. And this is also a big mistake if you don't bid on your own brand, because somebody else will bid, or people who really want to see you maybe won't see you. Or if you don't bid on the competitor's brand. So avoid these mistakes. This is actually not to-do list, but actually also this is a to-do list. Like if you do just avoid them, these are all the good practices inside here. Wow, that's a nice one. So who wants to make Google Ads simple and easy? Okay, good. So you have a software, Ad Espresso, for Google and Facebook, which is way easier to use than the Google interface, and you can check it out. They have a free trial, really nice. And who wants to build like 10 landing pages for their website business? Who doesn't want to build 10 landing pages? You don't want to build 10 landing pages? What's the reason?
Maybe 5. After 5.
No, I'm joking here, but you know, after all we said about micro products, about being relevant for a target, you should build as much landing pages as you can. Maybe like if you build 100, if you don't have a huge budget, it's overkill. But something between 3 to 10 pages should be good, okay? And if you want to build them without code, fast, you have unbounds, you have lead pages, you have a lot of website builders. This is one of them. They also have a free tier. No, they have actually free trial, they don't have a free tier. Actually, they have a free tier for startups, but you really need to know where to get it. The micro products. Okay, so this is Fast Build. Fast Build is my own software, which I experimented. It can build your landing pages, this, that, blah. Okay, so this is the vanilla Fast Build. Build your ads and start getting clients in 3 minutes. And this is an online marketing software. I can book for online marketing software, Facebook ads software, Google ads software, landing page software. All the keywords go there. Okay? Now I have a micro product. Get new yoga clients. So if I'm bidding for yoga studio marketing software, I'm like the only one. And people see my thing, and then just of other people who just bid for marketing software and get also attention there. Who's most relevant for if you really run a yoga studio? Yeah? The yoga. And then, because I can service any types of businesses with this thing, I do another micro product. Real estate. And you can go even sub-niche, like Facebook for real estate, landing pages for real estate, clients for real estate marketing, real estate promotion. Goes all to different versions of this page with the offer, just tailored to the real estate. Same goes for legal. So this is, like with this thing, you can be super relevant. You can actually address also keywords. Let's say you advertise for yoga studio marketing software and you go here. It's not that relevant. Maybe they say, yeah, it's just random stuff. I've seen it, I don't want to try it. But if I have a yoga studio, I want to try the yoga thing. Maybe I will not use it, but just of curiosity, I will do the free trial. So this is a joker, the micro product. This is like a cheat. This is a hack. And we do this for all our clients. We see tremendous results. Okay, so I have one more thing for you. So we have some Google features which are maybe known, maybe not that much known. Okay, so let me show you some of the features which I think are really cool. Custom audience. Who knows what a custom audience is? Okay, so imagine who of you works for, let's say, an established company, let's say 100 years in business, 50 years in business, 30 years in business, okay? So we, for example, we work with a company, they sell elevators. They have like 10,000 of clients they served in the last 50 years. They sold an elevator and they have a customer file, name, email, phone. You can give it to Google and say advertise only to people who are on this list or people very similar to them. So I can upload a customer list of my customers and re-engage them with ads on display, on search. Imagine I upload a list which I tell Google, these are my customers, but they are not my customers. Do you offer coaching for the medical profession, for example? For doctors? Imagine you would. Do you know Yameda or Doctolib? They have like, on Yameda, they have 160,000 doctors. You can download it into an Excel file, scrape it, upload it to Google as a custom audience, and Google will maybe out of 160,000 people identify like 20,000 people. And you show your ads only to them. You say, hey, are you a doctor? What the fuck, I'm a doctor, how do they know? Yeah, are you a doctor? Do you have this problem with you as a doctor, which is the main problem for doctors? We can solve it for you without the typical downside. And how do you know what problems the doctor has and what is the typical downside?
If I work for them, I should know.
Yeah, if you sell to them, if you talk to them. But also I will show you how to read people's mind with Google. Remind me, this is a bonus. How to read people's mind with Google. Okay? Who actually wants to read people's mind with Google? The others? What do you want? You want some beer? We'll get to that part. Nice. So another feature, demographics. I told you. For example, let's say you want to sell to managing directors of established companies. What's the age of a managing director in Germany, roughly? You can go into statistic studies.
50.
Yeah, maybe. Like, let's say 35 to 55 or to 60. But somebody who's like 20, it's very improbable that this person is a managing director of a real company. Maybe there are, but most of the people not. So if you offer something for a certain demography, you can exclude all the others. Okay? Also, if you exclude unknown, then these are either people Google doesn't know how old they are. Really? Google doesn't know how old you are. Or children. So if you have something which is also Googled a lot of people under the age of 18, but you actually know that this is not a buyer's group in B2B, you can exclude it. Okay? So, or actually tailor it to the different demographics. Micro-targeting. Okay? You can target by the zip code. So if you have really local offers, you can target them. Or even, this is a cool one. If you have a lot of B2B customers on a trade fair, Messe, okay? You target only this area because you know you're in Barcelona, MWC, Mobile World Congress is going on, and you want to target for mobile companies. You can target the area of the trade fair, and you can actually have special. Actually, there was a use case. People had data. So in the US, they had data on flight cancellations. And they know that in Newark, blah, airport, a flight has been canceled. And they start running ads. Your flight has been canceled. We have a cheap motel offer. Claim it now. Just for the people waiting. And they blast it. They spend all the budget on this time, and then they put it off. And then they go to another thing automatically. Micro-targeting, really nice. Custom intent. So, who of you has the impression that Google, Facebook, Amazon, they know so much about you that they probably spy on you through your camera or microphone? Lots of studies have been conducted, and the serious one came to the conclusion that they don't, because they don't have to.
They have everything they need.
Yes. Yes. So this one is super powerful. The past searches, you can target people with banners on Google, on YouTube, on Gmail, okay, who have been searching for something. So for example, I'm Googling all the time about my co-working. Now I'm not Googling about the co-working, okay? I kind of put it aside at the end of the month. I need to do this and that. But you can target me still with your co-working because Google knows that I was Googling co-working all the time. And you can target me with this super powerful thing. A little bit creepy, though.
Is there a way actually, because you always get this problem, like for example when you buy a toilet brush, right? And then Amazon makes you thinks that you collect toilet brushes
That you have a toilet.
for a month. Is there some way to go around that, to not spend your budget on somebody who already converted?
Yes. You say, so if somebody goes to your shop and puts the toilet brush in the basket, you put him into a remarketing audience, so your software shoots a cookie. And you say everybody who has toilet brush in the basket sees toilet brush ads. And if you buy this toilet brush, you get another cookie, which excludes you from the audience. So you should exclude converted traffic.
But this only works if it was your customer, right? Not if it was somebody else's.
Yeah. This doesn't work with this thing, like, you know? Income targeting. This one is heavy. In the United States, you can target by income percentile. You can target the 1%. Show my ads only to 1%, the rich guys. Or maybe I want to target the poor. Maybe I'm a scammer. Maybe I'm a loan shark. I do payday loans. And I want to target the bottom poor, which is actually why this is not allowed in Europe, for a good reason. Or maybe I can have different landing pages per income percentile. Like the top 10% get top pricing. The mid tier gets mid pricing, and the low tier gets like a super discount. Crazy. Yeah. So first we have our offer and landing page, and we need to get this straight before we start running ads. Then we want to see our keywords. This is what we researched. Then we write down the ads. And ads and keywords are inside ad groups. So it's like a container. If you want the word AML Deutschland to trigger a certain ad, so if you want to target AML Deutschland, you make a separate group and you say, hey, are you looking for AML Deutschland? We have it. Or if you don't have it, we have an alternative, which is the other one, mobile reality or whatever it was.
Yeah, real mobile.
Real mobile.
Yeah.
And then you have campaigns. So ad groups are inside campaigns, and you can target the network, everything, and then you have an account with other settings, billing setting. All right, thank you very much. You've been a great crowd.
Thanks.